Good day, this is topic 2, Shari'ah framework and principles for the Islamic financial system. Now we look on the definitions of Shari'ah. The sum of the Islamic teaching and system which was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, recorded in the Quran and deduced from the Sunnah. Shari'ah is regularly used to denote the compliant aspect of Islamic financial products and services. So they have two, which is Shari'ah compliance product and services. This refers to products which have their origin from the conventional market and are Islamized by modifying them to suit Shari'ah requirements. Second, we have Shari'ah-based product and services refers to products which do not originate from conventional practice. The knowledge of one's rights and obligations derived from the Quran or Sunnah or the consensus of opinions among the learned, ijma or analogical reasoning, which is qiyas. Now we look on the fundamental prohibited elements in Islamic finance. There are three broad Shariah perspectives that distinguish Islamic financial system from the conventional, which are RIBA, which means interest, gharar, which means uncertainty, and the last one, maisir, which means gambling. Now we look on the definitions of RIBA. It is effortless profit or profit that increases the principal amount quantity without putting any effort, which is interest. Now we look on the diagram below. The principal amount, which is 1,000 ringgit, because of the time factor, you want to delay the payment, they increase the principal amount for 500 ringgit. So you have to pay 1,500 ringgit. That 500 ringgit is considered as interest and riba, which is prohibited by Islamic religion. We look on the three elements of riba. First, surplus in terms of value, quality or quantity. Second, surplus in relation to time. Third, surplus in the loan agreement. There are two types of riba, which is riba in debt and riba in sales. Now we look riba in debt. Occurs in lending and borrowing, either imposed by lender or promised by borrower. Next, riba in sales occurs in trading transactions of commodity. A commodity is exchanged for different quantity, quality, either at the same time or at a different time. We look on the situations. A borrowed 1,000 from B on 10% interest for 1 year. Upon maturity, A have to pay 1,100 ringgit. So we look the principal amount, which is 1,000 ringgit, and the excess amount, which is the extra from the principal amount, which is 100 ringgit, it is interest. So we are now dealing with riba in debt. Now we look on the second situations. A exchange 1 kilo of rice for 2 kilo of rice with B on 10 December 2012 at the same time. So they have excess of 1 kilo rice is interest. So now this is the riba in sales, because they are exchanging the same thing, which is rice, but they are unequal quantity. Now we look on the rationales behind prohibitions of riba. First, prevent accumulations of wealth in a few hands. Second, ritual obedience. Prevent social economic injustice. Fourth, prevent the widening gap between rich and poor. Fifth, to ensure distributive justice. Now we look the differences between riba and profit. So profit is allowed by the religion, but riba is prohibited. Now we look what is riba. Premium paid by borrower along with the principal, but profit means difference between value in sales and cost of production. So it is allowed in the religion whereby you buy low and sell high. It is profit. Where riba, there are prefixed certain amount to be paid by borrower, but for the profit, it is post-determined. Amount is not known until the transaction trading is done. Yes. Riba cannot be zero or negative in value, but profit can be zero, negative in value. Riba, they are forbidden in Shariah perspective, but profit, they are permissible. Now we look on gharar. Gharar here means to undertake a venture business transaction without a sufficient knowledge and with excessive risk. There are four types of gharar, which is uncertainty of risk pertaining to subject matter, uncertainty over its availability, uncertainty over the quantities involved, uncertainty over timing of completion and delivery. Example of existence of gharar, we can see on the selling goods that the seller is unable to deliver or produce, selling goods on the basis of false descriptions, deferred sale in which the deferment period is unknown, charging a fixed rate per night for every hotel room, even the room size and services is different. Now we look on the rationale behind the prohibition of gharar, which is uncertainty. First, to avoid fraudulent activities, to avoid disputes in the future, and to avoid injustice in trade. Next, we look on the third prohibition in Islamic transaction is maisir. Maisir refers to games of pure chance, i.e. gambling or betting, where any party might gain at the expense of the loss of other party. For example, you and your friends went into lucky draw competitions. Both of you have to pay like 5 ringgit each, but only your friends won the prize, so you have to suffer the losses. So this is purely a gambling. So we look on the rationale behind prohibitions of maisir, which is gambling. First, to prevent undue advantage. Second, against common norms of morality. Principles of a contract in Islamic finance, they deals with goods or wealth, usufruct of goods, transfer of ownership from one to another. So in Islamic contract, they must at least have two parties to undertake the obligations. Internal willingness of offer and acceptance, which is ijab and qabul. Ijab here refers to offer and qabul here refers to acceptance. And there must be a legal transaction. Essential elements of a valid contract: offer and acceptance, subject matter, and capacity of the parties to the contract. Now we look on the offer and acceptance. Offer, which is a person who make a proposal for a deal, where acceptance, acknowledgement made by a person towards the offer. We look on the conditions of offer and acceptance. Acceptance conforms to the offer in all details. Offer and acceptance has to be executed in the same sessions. Willingness from parties to contracts. Existence of offer till issuance of acceptance or expirations. Now we look on the subject matter. The necessary conditions related to subject matter, they must be exist, valuable, permissible, ownership can be transferred, capable to be delivered, specified and quantified. Subject matter ownership. Capacity of the parties to the contract. The parties to the contract should meet the following eligibility criteria: major and sane, legally capable, and there is no coercion to exercise. Now we look on the Islamic sale contract. Sale, which is buy. Buy here means a normal sale. Exchange of a thing of value by another thing of value with mutual consent. Classification of sale. Sale based on things sold. Sale based on the nature of profit sharing. Sale based on the nature of profit sharing, we have musawamah. It is a spot sale. Sale by mutual consent concluded through negotiations in which no reference is made to the original cost price. Next, murabaha. Murabaha refers to cost plus the profit, whereby seller expressly disclose the profit to the buyer. This is the must. Cost and profit must be disclosed to the buyer. Tawliyah, sale at the cost price without any profit for the seller. And wadi'ah, sale of a commodity at a lower price than the cost price. This is the end of our topic. Thank you.